Just make sure to keep an eye on your jump distance, obviously, guys. And you of course need a bit of capital to purchase 228 tons worth of slaves. So if you're in a Type 7, you've kitted it out, you're going to need 3 mil, okay? There's 2 ways of doing it. I'm going to be doing it the longer way because it makes just a little bit more money. So what you want to do is make your way to you can choose either CD86-4 or you can go to Erevapor. I'll let you guys find out in a moment. So if you're in an ASP doing this on a shorter run, you can do this in literally like 2 jumps to Erevapor. CD86 you can do it in 1 jump and that's fully laden as well.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Really can tell the difference in them thrusters, damn. Last time I forgot how big this ship was because I've been used to flying pretty small ships, so I clanged the roof of this. Hopefully that won't be the case this time. Hey, look at that, we're all good. Now you notice I don't use a shield generator, any weapons. At most I'll have a chaff launcher on. At the end of the day you are going to get interdicted occasionally. It's just up to you to try and avoid it as much as possible.
Four, three, two, one. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Frameshift drive charging.
Luckily the stations involved on this trip are pretty close to the respective stars. I think the furthest away is CD86. It's about 740 light seconds away from the star, so if you are going to be interdicted it's going to be within a very short amount of time, but obviously being in Type 7, slow and cumbersome, can be quite difficult. I'm a big fan of loops if it helps you avoid people behind you. Don't be afraid to do it, man. There is no shame involved. So this is the first run. We make profit there and back, obviously. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of a trade run, to be fair.
Docking request granted.
Also, just bear in mind, guys, you can make a little bit of extra profit if you don't have a docking computer, of course. But operating with no shields, I don't want to risk any clangs and, you know, bumping into the station on my way out and half destroying myself. So I tend to leave it on in the, you know, the worst slot you can get, so it's not going to take up too much of your profit. Also, you do have to keep an eye out on how much you purchased it for, so you know how much profit you're making. So this should be around about 3,100 per ton, okay? So should be more than enough for you.
Landing gear deployed.
You don't make as much on the way back, but you still make enough. And obviously if you're winging up and making commission off of your friends, that's even better.
Engaged.
Hi, refuel. So off of 120 tons I'm usually making, which is in the ASP, I'm usually making about 400,000, so obviously we want to be making more than that. As you can see, we bought them at 13,500 and you sell them at 16,850, so a little bit more profit than even I was expecting. So for the first run here we've made 761,000, that's not bad going for one run. So we're going to pick up the return goods and make a nice tidy profit on the way back. Now again in the ASP, I'll keep referring to the ASP because that was the ship I used first. Usually about 120 grand for the return journey, there or thereabouts, so again we should be making a bit more than that. Right, so I'm just going to keep a note, see how close we get to the million, hopefully beat the million, so obviously we're going to bank that profit straight away. Now the return journey is a little bit more difficult for me because I'm actually hostile in that territory, so that's when I tend to have problems, which is never a good thing. So we're going to get the land enrichment systems. Oh no, that's not the one I want to go to. Although, to be fair, you do actually get, you know, a fairly even price across. What you got to make sure is obviously the cargo that you're taking is legal in that station. Otherwise, you will have a few problems.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Definitely a space boat. I hate flying this thing. It's too chunky, man. I'm used to a nice sleek asp. You can fucking do spins in that shit. Sorry, excuse my language, sorry.
Frameshift drive charging. Four,
It's
3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. Four, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I think I'm being tracked. Just see a couple of things in the background just as I jump there, so could be interesting, you never know.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now this is the tough part for me anyway in the hostile territory, getting between this start and the station, which is actually a really short distance, but sometimes when you're doing this run, you know, you could be quite frustrated with the interdictions because there could be quite a few, but you can't make profit without a little risk. Again guys, don't worry about doing a loop if you have to. Oh, it didn't quite work, I didn't get into it quick enough.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Right, so obviously we're looking for a fairly good profit margin on the way back to make that journey extra special. Obviously I always repair and refuel straight away. So let's have a look. We got the land enrichment systems for the return journey, as you remember, so we bought them for around about the 4.5 mark. It's not going to be a great profit margin per one, 755 per ton. So that's 172,000, not too bad, but not brilliant. So if you add that to the 761 that we got, that's 761 plus 100's 861 plus 70, what, 950, just pushing it. And that's for one run, so you're making close to $1 million per, 15 minutes if you get it right. We'll do another couple if we can, just to make the money.